No offense, fellas. Y'all are horrible when you're sick. I'm sorry. Horrible.
I beg to differ, and I think you can attest. Excuse me. When I'm sick, I just want to be left alone. Like, I don't need this. I don't need X. She texted me yesterday. You texted me yesterday and asked, dude, do I need anything? I said T. And that was it.
Welcome back for your favorite podcast, the Perks and Paving. As always, I am joined by Mark, my husband, and today we have a special guest, Trudi Stevens from the office here at TPG. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Resident office mom, I should say.
Yes. I got the treats, I got the medicine, I got it all.
Yep. So I was thinking back to the first time I met you, actually. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, when you came in for your interview in the old office.
Yeah, for the old office, yeah. And I was thinking about that. I was like, the first time I met Trudi. And I was thinking, wonder what Trudi thought about some random girl with physical therapy background coming into a pavement office. But yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. But I remember you were sitting there.
I was like on my way out the door and you were coming in.
We were talking about sports.
Yeah,
and,
totally sports.
Yeah.
What else
Kids,
would I talk about? Sports. I have boys and their sports.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But yeah, we thought we'd have you on because you have an interesting background as well, and your path, which led you to the Pavement Group, is a unique story that we'd like to share. So, don't seem so scared.
Okay.
But so tell us a little bit about where you started.
So I originally was going to school and I got my degree in psychology because I thought I wanted to be like a psychologist. So I wanted to tell everybody, I know what your problem is.
Yeah.
Right? Really, I know what my problem is. That's what I found out. But I started off in retail management and I worked for a big box retailer for 15 years and then did everything I wanted to do with them because it's really hard raising little kids when you work in big box retail because the schedules suck. So I ended up finding a job with PNC Bank. And I worked with them for 8 years, and I indirectly have been with this company since it started, but have only worked for this company, meaning the Pavement Group, for almost 3 years. Brian walked into my office and said, I need a business account. I'm like, what's your business? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And I was the business banker, and we met, and we just kind of built a relationship from there. Yeah. And here I am.
So going from psychology to working at a bank, I mean, that's a pretty big jump as well. So not, right?
Yeah. I mean, so my husband always teases me. He's like, you have this degree and you never use it. And I'm like, I work with the public. People are crazy all over the place. What are you talking about? So, I mean, I use it in every conversation that you have, really, because you're always trying to build relationships, figure people out, understand who they are, where they're coming from. So, I mean, you use it. And I have teenage kids, so God knows I need it.
So working with the company from going back 3 years, so kind of compare and contrast where you are now compared to them, but also just your feel of the office, the people that now work with you compared to whenever you first came through the doors.
So when I first started, I was, I think, number 7 or 8 hired with the company, and I worked in the finance department. So I did a lot of the... I
never knew that.
Yeah, I did a lot of the invoicing and accounts payable and receivable. We did everything via spreadsheets. It was crazy. But I worked at home, and then Brian got the office next door. I was like, hey, what do you think about coming to Wexford a couple days a week? I'm like, okay. A couple days a week was 5 days. So there wasn't a couple days a week. It was 5 days. I just jumped right in. Yeah. So I no longer worked from home, which was fine. But I mean, when I came over here,
were you excited about that switch from
home to back to office, or
no, more the finance side to the project coordinating side?
Yeah, because I mean, at the time, the company was not really. There was a lot of transitional things happening within the company. I mean, look where we are 3 years.
Yeah,
3 years from where I started. So I mean, I was willing to do anything because I just wanted to learn the business, learn the industry, and learn how can I be a part of this whole vision and project, and how can I help, and where will my attributes be best suited. So I mean, switching from the finance side to the project coordinator side was not a big deal. I mean, I'm from a blue collar family. Yeah. We have plumbers and electricians and welders and contractors and construction. So all that type of works for who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, and now you're a senior project coordinator, so you do a lot of the initial training going on with new hires, such as myself, coming in the door and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not a teacher, and that's okay. But like, I'm a doer. Like, it's hard for me to.
I feel like I'm similar.
It's hard for me to be like, okay, here you go, because I just want to do it, and I've really had to learn to
and to
step back
slow
and
down
to slow
when
down.
you're just you're just go, and then to have to slow down a little bit it's tough.
I feel
It's
like
challenging.
some of the newer folks, the last couple that have come through, I'm like, squirrel.
Yeah,
It's like the phone will ring. I have this one going on. I have this, because I mean,
Which works for you
Right.
because like
I know what I'm
you
doing.
know what you're doing, but when you're trying to teach someone, it does make it a
It's-
little
Yeah.
challenging.
So I know I'm not a teacher, and that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, there's always something changing, always something new happening.
Yeah.
So-
And would you say, as I was thinking about like, you know, you are very good at relationships, and I don't know with I mean, yes, you're probably dealing with people on the finance side, maybe more difficult situations in that
Not always the
regard.
best conversations.
Trying to get people to give
Yeah.
you the money that you are needing, but with the PC side, it's a lot about obviously building relationships with people, and that is like, I feel like you are so good at that, which might go back to your psychology background.
I'm a relationship person.
Yeah.
I like to get to know people. I
Yeah.
don't just want to be like, hi, it's Trudy. Where's this? You know, I want to know what's going on with you, your family. You can ask Brian, even when like I worked at the bank. I mean, you could walk in there and any customer that walked in, I could tell you anything you wanted to know about their family, their life, whether their dog died, if they had a grandbaby, like what was going on. Because I just enjoy people.
Yeah.
I just enjoy talking to people.
Yeah. I mean,
About anything.
the first time I think I met you, I don't know if it was Christmas or not, but whenever I was
No, it
Treating
wasn't.
your-
No, it
Who's
was
treating my kids.
back
It was-
at the PT
treating your
office.
kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you would come in, and obviously, like any parent wants to be involved with their children
Trudy's
and
like,
their care.
I need a PT.
And yeah, I
Do
mean,
you know
very
anyone?
I know. I have a kid with a concussion.
actually-
They're telling me it's like 4 weeks, and what do I do?
Yeah.
And you're
Okay.
like, huh.
I'm like, Mark can get you in today.
I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, prior to working with you and seeing how well you do with contractors from all across the country, people in our company, our coworkers, just talking to you, parent to therapist, you know, awesome communication skills, cared about what was going on, and we talked like we had known each other for months.
Like,
and,
yeah.
So,
And every time I'm like, hey, Mark, what's going on today?
Yeah.
Like you had the young lady in your office who was pregnant. I'm like, how you feeling? What's
Yeah.
going on? What
Yep.
do you do? You know.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm a people person.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just ask questions.
Yep.
I really like. So you may not know this. This is a little fun fact.
Okay. Lay
What-
it on us.
When I was younger, I wanted my own talk show.
Oh.
Or I wanted my own, like, I wanted to be like a news, I wanted to go into communications and like news broadcasting. And I don't know how I got to psychology but that's where I'm at.
It's really funny that you say that because I always thought it would be really fun because I loved watching the Weather Channel growing up for whatever reason.
With your green screen. It's like, there's a jet stream flowing in.
Like local on the 8s. I mean, count me in. Like, I don't know why. I just like no, I swear. Like, I loved anything Weather Channel, and I'm like, I think it'd be really cool to be the weather girl. But I never thought like, oh, podcast or anything like that. But here we are.
I know. My dad used to tell me all the time. He's like, you always have a phone in your hand, or you're always talking to somebody. Like you need to be a phone operator or like something where you're talking to people all the time.
Yeah.
Just whatever it is, just talk because you don't ever shut up.
Yeah.
And I don't, so it's a gift.
It's all right.
Poor Quinn.
But, I mean, he's opposite of you, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
And how does that works well for you guys?
I mean, we've been married 19 years.
Yeah.
We've been together 21. We have 2 kids. I mean, it's funny because Quinn's very quiet, except for around me, because we just like he's my person.
Yeah.
So
I would say like introverts, like memes on the internet, it's like introverts in public and they're like shy in the corner. It's like introverts when they're with their favorite person and they're just all over the wall.
all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good balance.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he can get a word in edgewise anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like it's good. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did he talk a little bit more at the Christmas party than usual, or was he quiet?
No,
I was on the
talked
dance
with-
floor the whole time. So
I know you were
don't-
busting a move. I was pretty impressed with your dance moves, by the way.
Really?
You were getting down with yourself. I was like, way to go.
Thanks. I was having a great time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he did. He talked. You and him talked.
I know. I
sports.
said I spoke with him briefly, but like,
Yeah, well, I mean, he loves football and he loves sports, so he kept running over by the bar area to check the score of the Washington-Oregon game, which was very disappointing to us.
Oh.
Thanks, Trey. Trey was all about Washington, whatever. So,
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was good. He had fun. He knows I'm a people person. He's like, have at it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit right here. You do your thing. Okay. So,
The Christmas party was a blast, though.
oh yeah, good
Yeah.
time.
Such a
Totally
great
good
time.
time.
What was your favorite part?
Todd.
that was
Todd did
the-
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so mad I missed like the first minute and a half.
Oh my God, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, he did so good. I mean,
It takes a
overall,
lot to get up there in front of people. Doesn't work with us face to face every day, but I thought he did a really good job.
I
And
mean,
I
it
thought it
was-
was like a good balance of like funny and like kind of digging, but not going too far.
Right.
and
Yeah.
Right.
It
He
was
kept
it was well done.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
I was not. Did you know that was gonna take
I
place?
knew that he had awards to give out.
I thought he was
but I didn't
giving
know what
out
they were.
the awards.
You
like,
know.
You missed the like musical interlude. I don't know if that was planned or not. Do you remember whenever he started talking and then the music just started playing for like 3 seconds and it was like rap, hip hop, like
Yes,
ghetto song? It was
yes.
so funny.
It was like
No.
this
You weren't in
off
there
the
yet.
wall song, and you were like,
Yeah, it was just like
Okay,
a
Todd.
3-second clip, and then it was like, whoops, like
it was funny. It was funny. No, he did a fantastic job. I knew he was giving out his awards, but I didn't know what they were.
I knew nothing.
I didn't
Yeah.
know he was handing out anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did really good. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah. Got
It's yeah.
I mean, it's always a great time when obviously we're all over the country. So, you know,
We get everyone together.
when we get everyone together, it's always just a blast and
time.
it always goes by way too fast. So.
I know. It's like I don't think I talked to half the people that
Well,
were there.
I made
mean,
it
I
a
think
point.
I did,
I
but I didn't have.
I made it a
didn't.
personal point to talk a little bit more with people in our finance department because typically on a day-to-day basis, it's me asking or calling because I have a problem rather than like, hey,
really
what's
nice.
going on? But like Hannah, Renee, I've met Amy for a bunch of times, but I wanted to spend more time getting to know them and talk and just say thank you for everything. And I was glad I got to finally meet them, and it was really nice. So
Yeah, I still process all the checks that come through, so I'm still kind of work with them in the finance aspect.
Yeah.
So I mean, I talk to them pretty regularly though.
Yeah, that's one thing that I missed with all my dancing. But Patrick Ford, I got to hang out with him a lot. Tyler got to hang out with him a lot.
Patrick and Tyler were
Yeah.
busting a move.
Yeah.
They were in their world.
Yep. But
Yeah. He said he was a little bit sore from the hockey game
I was surprised he wasn't out there more.
because he said he was sore from the hockey game they played that morning.
Makes sense.
I missed the hockey game in the morning, so
Yeah.
me too.
I didn't either. Did we, as a TPG team, win? Or was it
I have no idea. I don't even know who was really playing.
neither?
I really don't.
no idea.
I know that there was the little rumbling fights going on on the ice. They were kind of comical.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Like,
They weren't like real fights. They were like obnoxious like fights. I think Aceti
Yeah.
and Tony
it's
got
like
into
hold
it.
up the game for like
Yeah.
a minute.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was funny. It was funny. You'll have to see the video. It's great.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But, so,
So
so your kids are involved in a lot of sports, so that obviously takes up a lot of your time outside of the office. So what's going on at home right now with the kids?
Brendan, my oldest, has graduated. He is now with the Carpenters Union, so he's working. So there's
Yep.
really no more sports he's playing. Apparently, I've heard that he is helping to coach youth lacrosse, which should be pretty entertaining
But
because he played
just-
1 year.
Okay, I was gonna say he
only played
just
1 year.
started.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yeah.
You said he did pretty good though
He
for a
did
first
good.
season.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, "What the heck? It's my senior year.
Yeah.
I want to play. It'll be the only sport I ever play with my brother,"
so
which was really
cute.
cool to watch them both play on
Yeah.
a field together. And like, he scored a couple goals, and I mean, he was a blast to watch
Yeah.
because coming from a football lineman to lacrosse, hilarious.
Big dude.
Dude, he would just lay people out, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, "You can't do that." He's like, "I'm a lineman. What do you want? I don't know what I'm doing."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" But Jake's a sophomore, so he'll be 16 in February. Dear Lord, he plays a lot of lacrosse. So he does club lacrosse and he plays high school lacrosse. So we're always traveling with him in lacrosse.
And he has a job now too.
He
or-
works a part-time job. He works at the Brighton hot dog shop in Butler.
Yeah.
Slinging glizzies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he works like 1 or 2 days a week. But yeah, He's saving. He wants to save for a car.
That's awesome.
And so work, lacrosse, school.
Yeah.
And I mean, he has us running. We run
Yeah.
a lot with him.
Are you gonna let him get a car as soon as? Because you said
So-
he's how old again?
He'll be 16 in February.
Okay, so
We have 3 drivers in our house with
Okay.
4 cars, probably soon to be 5. So I think he'll be fine.
okay,
Yeah.
but you'll as soon as he gets his license,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
let him
Oh,
go
yeah.
on his way.
Yeah, please.
You're ready for
Please.
that responsibility to be taken off of you.
Yeah, his summer lacrosse practice are like from 8 to 10 on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And they're like 45 minutes away. I'm like, have at it. See you later. Brendan, you want to drive them?
Right.
I'll fill your gas tank if you do. So, yeah.
Did your mom let you drive as soon as you got your license?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How about you?
It was me I held myself back more than they
Just
did.
wanted to make sure you were prepared.
Well, with learning to drive in South Florida,
Oh.
anyone who lives there will know that it is not easy. So I was fine in residential areas like Pine Island, University, but like 595, 95. I was nervous the first couple times
My
going
parents were
on.
concerned when I moved to Florida when I was like 25, driving on 595 and 95.
They don't have like turn lanes. People just stop, and nobody uses a signal.
No
'Cause I've
one
lived in
uses a
Florida
turn
too.
signal.
Turn signals are a sign of weakness when
Yeah.
you're driving down there. So people like go out of their way. And you think I'm kidding. Find someone that
Really?
you know who lives in South Florida. If you like turn on your turn signal, like people will abruptly like try to stop you from doing what you're doing just because welcome to South Florida. I don't know.
I remember it might have even been you the one day I was driving you somewhere and I like turned on my turn signal to pull into a parking spot.
And you're like, no.
And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I think I almost failed my driving test. Or it was like
Because you didn't use your signal?
Yeah, because I didn't do it. So it's just like habit now. Like you always turn your turn signal on. He was like, what are you doing? And then I'm 4 years later, however long I lived in South Florida, moved back. And now like, I feel like I drive safe, but I'm definitely a little bit more lax with my turn signals and stuff.
I learned to drive on the DC Beltway, so game on.
Yeah.
It's hit the gas and get out of your way because
Yeah.
cars are coming and moving and shaking. So
Yeah, we didn't have that here. The biggest thing was
yeah.
deer.
Yeah.
Deer.
Watching out for deer and crazy turns in the road, I guess. But
yeah.
I remember my parents were always concerned about me driving at night, which maybe was because of the
Probably
deer,
'cause
I
of
guess.
deer.
But I remember vividly like
Even to this day, your dad will text, not me, he'll text and call you with snow on the ground. He'll call to make sure that she's not driving or if she's not home, she needs to get home.
yeah.
It's a
My
great, great
husband
little
texted
thing.
me this
Gotta
morning.
get-
He's like, black ice, be careful. I'm like, really?
Oh, I didn't get that
Like,
text.
Up where we lived, there was like
Oh.
some black ice. There was like an accident on the bridge.
Yeah. My dad's also really great about giving me those reminders about getting my winter tires put on, which has
You
been
need to do.
I need to do. I got halfway there this week. It's halfway. I mean, not like
What,
two
did you,
wheels.
like, put twos
not,
on- two
not,
on
not
and
two
not the
wheels.
other
That's
two?
not no. So no.
You
that's
made the
not-
appointment?
Almost. So
Okay.
I thought that if I called to get my oil change, which I also need to do, that maybe I could squeeze in for a little tire swap while I was there. And they said no. But I did make that call, and that is scheduled for next Thursday. So I'm halfway there. I just need to make one more call.
Make the call page. Make the call.
Yeah. But he was thinking it was going to snow today and tomorrow, and I have a couple visits, but like site walks and stuff. So he was like, "Oh, just make sure like get those tires changed if you're going to be driving around." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Which it's really nice of him, but just life gets a little busy. But
Oh,
it's a good mental
I know.
reminder. Mental
Oh, I
reminder. I
know.
need to do that. But then I looked at the weather and it doesn't look like it's going to snow.
No, it's going to be
So
like 40, 48, almost 50 on Friday.
got plenty
You're-
of time.
you have plenty of
friends.
time.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah. But I'm ready, I think, to get a vehicle with like 4-wheel drive, so I don't have to worry about the tire swap.
Oh,
Because-
you don't have 4-wheel drive? Or
No,
all-wheel drive?
that would like eliminate one thing that I
Right.
have to do. So if I just got a car with
Can't,
4-wheel drive,
can't wait to get her a new car.
Yeah. So.
You don't
Can't
like
wait.
yours? I thought you liked
Oh
yours.
no, I
She
love my
loves
car,
hers.
but I got it in Florida. I didn't need. I thought
Oh,
I
yeah.
was. I thought I was living there, forever. Forever.
Mark's like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
We're here.
But it's weird. I was so.
Background story. So
Yeah.
when I started dating Paige very, very early on, I was told that I shouldn't pursue her unless I was fully committed to one day down the road moving back to Pittsburgh to be closer with her family if we decided to start our own family. I said, okay, we'll move to Pittsburgh from Fort Lauderdale.
Sure.
That'll happen. And a
And
couple
here you
years
are.
later, well, COVID happened, and that definitely changed some things in the healthcare world.
Oh, yeah.
And then with her having a change in work status with our old company, and then with the way things were going, we just happened to, she looked up on our intercompany website just PT jobs within our same company in Pittsburgh, and there happened to be two openings. One of them was like 10 minutes away from where her parents live now. And so
Just worked.
I applied like that Sunday night at midnight, and by Tuesday afternoon of that week, I was talking to who would become my boss.
Oh, wow.
And by the end of that week, we picked a day of when I would move up and start.
Wow.
So we meet at what was the name of the restaurant right by our house on Pine Island?
Azteca?
No. The one that had the little it's always on water. The
Duffy's.
Duffy. Yeah, Duffy's.
Duffy's.
Yeah. So we
Nope,
go
Bow Campers.
Bow Campers.
Bow
Yeah, I was
Campers.
gonna say that didn't
Bow
sound
Campers.
right. Bow Campers, right on Pine Island in Fort Lauderdale. So we go there, and he's like, "Well, I got the job," and I'm like, "Oh, great!" Like, as much as I wanted to move back home, I just didn't know
It was
when.
that quick.
And yeah, so I mean, within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we were packing up our stuff to move back home to Pittsburgh.
The final night that we stayed in our apartment, it was completely empty. We had an air mattress. That was the only thing in there. And we're going to bed, and she is hysterically weeping.
Why?
Just crying her eyes out. And I'm thinking, like, this is what you wanted. Like, why are you so upset? And
because, like, I mean, it sounds so dumb, but, like, I think, you know, I did so much stuff up to that point. Like, PT school was really hard for me. You know, there was just a lot going on in undergrad, but I was still close to home. I felt like me going to Florida was, like, my first time that, like, I was
your big girl pants on.
I was putting my
stepping
big
out.
girl pants on. Like, I was like, I you know, made a decision to move away from home. I had a job that, you know, I thought I was going to love. And I was like, I made it. This is it.
Let's go.
Let's go. And then when I moved back home, I think I went through this feeling of, I don't know, not that I no longer had made it. I don't know. I had a hard time processing that, I think.
Do you think it was like you just feeling like you were out on your own, but you feel like you're running back home?
Yeah,
Like you're coming back for like that security aspect?
I don't know.
I don't think it was due to a security thing at all.
No, but I
don't
think it was originally meant that way, but I think that's probably like part of how she felt in a way. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit. And I don't know. I just don't think I was ready. Like, I wanted to do it, but I wasn't ready at that moment in time. So
we just had that conversation last night at our house because I was like, Quinn, what are we going to do when the boys graduate? Like, when Jake's done? What are we going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are we going to do?
What are you going to do?
Are we staying? Are we moving? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it's a couple years away. And I'm like, a couple years goes by real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I guess. We're like, I guess it depends on where Jake ends up because Jake's looking to go. He wants to play lacrosse in college. So it all depends on where he ends up, I think, as to where we might end up. I don't know.
So what if Brendan stayed and Jake left? How do you negotiate? Like, how do you navigate that?
Oh, Brendan's not staying without us. Are you kidding me? I love him to death. But maybe he will. Who knows? I don't know.
So you
I don't
think
know
he
where
would
he's going to
follow
be.
you?
Yeah, I mean, he's already said like, hey, if as I get through like the apprenticeship process, if I can get a journeyman's job like more out west somewhere, he'd be gone in a heartbeat. He'd probably go before me.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you didn't always live in Pittsburgh either,
no.
so.
No, I was born in I was born in D.C. I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland. Quinn was born in Idaho Falls and grew up north of Salt Lake and Ogden, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So
got a job in Idaho Falls right now.
Huh?
Said I got a job in Idaho Falls right now.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
This summer we were there. We were driving up to Montana, and I totally wanted to go to the Idaho potato museum, and nobody wanted to stop. I'm like, it's a giant potato. Let's go see it. No.
Have you ever been to Salmon Springs?
Oh, no, it's not Salmon Springs.
No?
Okay, first question
No.
before we go there. Has there ever been a job that you're like, I don't know where this is, but like I'm gonna look into where it is and like decided that you actually wanted to go and see this location? No, never.
Anywhere. I
Yeah,
mean,
but like there
anywhere,
wasn't
really.
a job that came up that you were like, oh, I've never heard of that. Wonder where it's at. And then you looked and you're like, oh, that looks like a cool place. I'm gonna put that on my list of places I want to go.
No, because I kind of want to go
okay.
everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I never thought I would say I want to go visit Wisconsin besides it's like see a Packers game or anything, but when I first started, on Alaska, Wisconsin.
On Alaska, Wisconsin.
It's got
yeah.
a pretty little river town, and it looks just like very picturesque. I would go
Yeah.
and check it out.
I'd go anywhere.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
here.
I'd go anywhere, but Salmon, Idaho.
Salmon.
What's in Salmon, Idaho?
It-
What is so beautiful about it?
I haven't been yet, so I can't
So
tell
you don't know?
I can't tell you.
Outrageously expensive to get there, though.
Yeah, and I remember.
Where
so
is
this
it
was.
near?
It's in the middle, nowhere.
It's
nothing.
it's literally in the middle of nowhere, and I think it's like a little it's a small town that like people will have camp. I mean, it might have a little town in the middle for.
It's more like a
I-
camp type.
I think it's. I believe. I don't know. I can report back
See,
once
I'm-
Mark brings me, but
I'm totally
um,
gonna Google that one
But
when I go back to
people,
my desk.
I remember last year when I asked someone who lived in Idaho but not in Salmon, more information. They were like, "Oh my gosh, Salmon, Idaho is beautiful." They had like a camper house or
Have you
something.
ever been out that way?
We
No,
had
not
looked in Utah,
but
but
not
that's
to
about
Idaho.
Yeah, we never made it to.
So I had never been to Montana. So this last summer
I wanna
we
go to Montana.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. We were out in Utah visiting Quinn's dad, and Quinn's mom had passed about 2 years ago, and we had not gone to her burial site because when she passed, it was coming out of COVID, so like everything was like so delayed, so they didn't do anything for her like right when she passed. So they had already buried her ashes like quite about a year or so ago, but we just weren't there. And like I was like, my father-in-law called and said, "Hey, we're gonna bury your mom in like 2 weeks." I'm like, "Dude, you got to give us time to plan to get out there. What do you mean?"
Right.
He's like, "No. I just need that closure aspect on my side. Whenever you guys come out next, we'll do a drive up there." Well, we didn't think it was like as far as it was, but we drove from Ogden, which is just north of Salt Lake, up to Missoula, Montana. Oh my gosh! Like on the highway, you could split and go to Butte, and you can go just beautiful country. Like I could totally live there because there's like towns and then there's nothing. Yeah. And then there's towns and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
And like you want to talk about driving, I could drive that highway all day because it's just straight
Well,
and nothing.
That's what
Beautiful.
I was shocked when we flew into Salt Lake City for our elopement trip. So we flew into Salt Lake City, went to Park City, and then kind of hit all of the national parks all the way from there to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And
That's a cool drive too when you go
it-
south.
Beautiful.
it is beautiful.
Because we've done that too.
Beautiful.
Nothing. There's
Nothing.
nothing.
But it's beautiful landscape the
Yep.
whole time. I mean,
It's like a
and
full-
I don't know how like one moment can be better than the next, but it was like.
But like when you're
every-
from the East Coast, it's
I know.
totally different.
it seems like a different world.
like the geography and the landscape of everything out there is just
it's hard to imagine
so
like something
beautiful.
like that exists a quick
I
plane
know.
trip away.
I
Like,
know.
Prior to us like going out there, I was like, I couldn't even tell you what Utah looks like. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Are there
pictured
mountains?
it-
Are there like I had no like idea.
The first time I ever went out there, I pictured it as being very like brown and dry and deserty, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you think of when you think of like Arches National Park.
Yep.
And like Zion, all that, because that's what you see. But I mean, I flew into there, and then we drove to Vegas from there because we were going there for New Year's Eve, long time ago. Like that drive was just gorgeous, like down through like Cedar City and St. George and everything, like beautiful.
When I would like to go back and do Zion again. When we were there, it was like in the middle of COVID, and I think some of the park was like restricted.
Oh, really?
And we were only there for like 24 hours, but we drove through it, which was, I mean, it was
Still
still beautiful,
beautiful.
but I would have liked to have done more hiking in that area. So we'll have to
I will
plan
tell
another
you,
trip.
there's a really cool spot in Colorado too. When I was younger, we did a trip where we flew into Albuquerque and drove all the way up.
Have
Durango.
you
I spent Thanksgiving in Durango.
I've been to Durango.
It is a
multiple
cool
times.
town.
It is cool.
It is a cool town.
I haven't been. Was that we were gonna go when
We were.
That's where your mom wanted to go, right?
We thought about
On the
you and
doing
I
the
spending
train.
a day there. Yeah.
Yeah, like Durango, Colorado Springs, like the Garden of the Gods. I drove across the Royal Gorge. Is that what it is? The Royal Gorge. So it's like the largest
sure.
suspension wooden bridge ever. And you can drive along, and it's so high, and it's like this crickety old bridge, and I'm like, we're gonna fall through this thing. Holy
Did you
crap.
when you were there? Did you take the train to Silverton?
No.
I've been there like 4 or 5 times.
No.
I've never taken the train. Up there.
No,
I gotta do.
I
it
would
next
love
time.
to do that.
Yeah.
But where the Royal Gorge was, you would get out and like they had wild deer all over the place. You could put deer feed in your hand, and they would just come up and eat right out of your hand. I mean,
Love
beautiful.
that.
Oh my gosh, so beautiful. You could pet them. They were just so docile and just.
Love that.
It was cool. It was beautiful.
Huh.
Totally recommend it.
So you've been to Albuquerque though.
Yes.
Have you been to the balloon fiesta?
No.
You should go.
Really?
Yeah.
I will tell you, we went through Taos, New Mexico, and everything's a freaking Adobe. The
Yeah.
McDonald's is an Adobe. The car dealerships are
Yeah.
Adobes, and I'm like, holy Adobe life here!
Right.
Wow.
Right.
But that's what you picture like the West to be,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yep.
When you're not from there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty cool spot.
I love vacationing out there. I love going out to Arizona in the West, but I don't think I could live in a desert though.
Well, that's what someone might have been Jackie was. I don't know who was talking about. Was she talking about Sedona?
She was talking about Sedona.
I think for vacation.
For vacation.
Someone was talking about move. Oh, our neighbor was talking about wanting to move to Sedona, and
I've
I
never
was
been
like,
there.
It's
it
gorgeous.
is gorgeous.
There's nothing to
and
do.
There's if you don't like to hike, you're not gonna have anything to do. I mean, we had a blast, and I would go back again and do more hiking, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
There's some places that you just want to go and visit, and then
I love I could live in like the total Salt Lake area. I say I could live there. I don't know. I'm not from there, so I don't know
Yeah.
Quinn. I don't know that Quinn wants to ever move back there, but maybe.
yeah.
But I could.
So
Totally live
what are the top 3 on the list?
Ooh, I would go Colorado, Utah, or possibly like I don't know. Colorado and Utah are like my 2 spots. Is where I would want to end up somewhere. I'd go back to Annapolis in a heartbeat. But
Really?
man, whew, you got to make some money to live down there.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Top 3 for you?
Somewhere in Florida is number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah,
What's-
Hawaii is my number 1.
Really?
Oh.
I've never been to
Yep.
Hawaii. It's expensive there.
It's
so
That's
expensive.
why I work so hard every day.
So
Save enough
eventually
money
get
to
there.
hopefully get there. Yeah, yeah. I could spend. Oh, it's so expensive and it's so far away. Like I love people, but when you're wake up every morning to those
That.
like views, oh my god, man.
Quinn and I want to go to America Samoa.
Oh.
At some, it's like a 24-hour flight. He's like, yeah, I'm out on that, because you have to fly from here to LA and then get on a 24-hour flight from LA there. But I would totally go there. Like we looked into it and we were pricing like a vacation. And he was like, "How long's that flight?" I'm like, like 24 plus hours. He's like, "Never mind, we are."
Oh, it's fine.
And I'm like, "I'm
Do
totally
it.
down with that. Let's go."
Hey,
Yeah.
we
It'd
brought
be
a
beautiful.
I mean, not we. His brother brought his daughter, who was not even 1, all the way from
Tampa.
East Coast to Hawaii. So it was like,
She made it.
Yeah, she was an angel.
That's
She was
great.
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Hawaii is definitely my number 1.
What's
but
number
then
2?
2, if it wasn't Florida, probably somewhere in the Carolinas.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, North Carolina.
Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh. No,
It's like right outside
Little
of where
tongue
UNC
twister.
is.
yeah. No, we
Yeah.
went to a wedding in Chapel Hill area a couple years
Oh, that's
back,
beautiful.
and yeah, we
Yeah, I like the
It's
Carolinas.
like when you're driving through and you just look at each other and be like, we could live here.
yeah.
We could do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I like there, and I love parts of Tennessee
Yep.
too. Anywhere like down in that like Shenandoah Valley type area, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous too. Totally. What about you?
Definitely some part of Florida, not probably South Florida, North Carolina, but number 3, I don't know. Like, it probably wouldn't be. Like, I think a house in like Montana or something would be really cool, but I don't think if I made like all the money in the world and could have just like a second house.
You
I-
have like
I-
the Yellowstone Ranch.
Yeah,
Yes!
just to like go
I'm
visit
in.
every
Let's go.
now and then, you
Let's
know.
go.
But I feel like that'd be so relaxing.
Yeah.
Such a vibe.
I've lived in Florida. I don't know. I think like
I always forget that. What you were in?
I lived in Daytona.
Yeah.
Like I think the older I get, the more I'd be more prone to go back to Florida.
Just so hot, man.
But it's so freaking
It's
hot
hot.
and humid.
In the summer,
and
it's like
Like Pensacola could be kind of.
it's still
It-
humid.
No, when I went there last January for Taylor's, or a couple Januaries ago for Taylor's bachelorette party, it was like cold.
I think our dream scenario would be, and we've talked about it, is snowbirds. Like we
Yeah.
would love to, like this time of the year
Yeah.
to be in Florida,
Florida.
or to be somewhere warm, and then once it
Yeah.
and come back in the summers up here and work and whatever.
I just hate the winters here. They're so doom and gloom.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
That's like
It's
10
depressing.
days just been like, blah.
Yeah.
I know. You're like, yay.
Yeah.
Look, it's cloudy and dark. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, that's what we were
It's
looking
5
up.
o'clock and it's pitch black and I haven't even gotten in my car yet to go home. Awesome.
Yeah,
This
there-
is
Can't wait for it.
fantastic.
What were the stats that you looked up the other day? So this time of year, like right now, we're only getting like 7 hours and 40 minutes of daylight.
We use like almost like 2 minutes a day until
that's-
we get to the 21st.
But that's why everybody's so vitamin D deficient and stuff here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Quinn hates the weather.
Hates the weather or
Hates the
this weather?
here. This weather.
Oh, okay.
Because
he
in-
hates the weather.
Because in Utah, it could be like a blizzard, but the sun shines.
yeah.
So he's like, you always
Yeah.
have the sun, so
Yeah.
it's always just.
That's the thing.
if the sun would
I
shine
agree.
more, it would be great.
That's fine.
It'd be
Yeah.
great.
It could be 10 degrees.
And
Because
this-
you can dress for cold.
Right.
You just can't dress for 93 with 85% humidity.
You can only take
like-
off so much
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you start scaring people.
And
Yeah.
that's why people dress the way they do in South Florida.
Well,
you know?
indeed.
They-
There's nothing left to the imagination.
no, yeah, you know.
See it all.
But yeah, one day.
One day.
One day.
Yeah. You guys are getting there. I'm
You're
closer
close.
than. I got 20 more years to work.
No, but like,
20 some years.
I mean, you said not close to like, but close with the kids almost
Oh,
graduating.
yeah,
You're 2
like-
years from that, you said. So.
Yeah, 2 years from having them both graduated. And by the time I turn 50, they'll both be 21 and 23, so they're buying beer.
Okay.
They're buying me a beer
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
So we planned it that way.
Okay.
So that way we'd still be young enough to like live
Yeah.
if we survive them,
Yeah.
which we have so far.
They seem like good kids. They don't give you too many like heart attacks or anything.
No, they're pretty good kids.
They are.
We've had no major issues with them,
Yeah.
so we're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
Do you give your parents any heart attacks back in the day?
Not that they knew about. No, not
Right?
really, yeah. Kept that under wraps.
Mhm. You?
Yeah.
Pages?
I don't think so. I mean, I might have like made them a little nervous when. I mean, I think any parent who has a daughter, any couple who has a daughter, I think is going to be more uptight and just worry.
I don't know.
I was dating a boy at the time that was a couple years older than me, so I think. I mean,
I see that point, but I can tell you from being a boy mom.
still worried.
Oh yeah. Now, granted, Jake's been with the same girl almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And Brendan has a new girlfriend that he's been with for a couple months and seems pretty good. But I mean, it took her a while. It took the new girlfriend a while to start like opening up some. And
Yeah.
he's like, "'Cause you scare everyone." And I'm like, "What do you mean?"
'Cause
I'm
you-
like,
Well,
"'Cause
it's a
you're my
different-
babies."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's like,
Like,
a generational thing too. Like
Yeah.
teenagers, like
they
now,
don't know how to talk to people
because they're on the phone all day.
They're like
and
this.
That's it. Yeah.
all the time.
I mean,
just, like,
I was
it
shy in high
feels-
school too, but like I could hold a conversation eye to eye with somebody, and
Yeah.
it's just different. And I feel so old saying that when I'm like these kids these
But
days.
it's true.
It is
It's true. I think my kids do a decent job. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but communicating
No,
with
they-
adults
they
and like
do.
being like
There's,
they're
like,
just
zero-
personable.
yeah.
Like there's
Not shy whatsoever
Yeah.
when they walk in here.
my older one is totally me though. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no caps on keeping that quiet.
And Jake's like Quinn.
Jake's more like Quinn, for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Jake has a good mix of me and Quinn, but Jake
He seems more reserved.
he's more reserved. He'd rather sit at home and like hang out at home than like go out and about like and party it up with like the boys.
Yeah.
He's like, nah. He said to us last week, and I'm like, don't you like have anything? He's like, pretty good, just sitting here chilling with you guys. I'm like, oh,
Oh, that's
okay.
nice.
So we played Wii golf, and he kicked
Aw.
my butt. It was great.
That's awesome.
Like
I
Saturday night.
think that's so important. I know I've always been like that with my parents. I feel like you are too. I mean, I just love hanging out with my parents.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that makes you feel good. I don't understand that when people are like, oh yeah, like I don't want to. I mean, I would walk into the grocery store growing up, like linked arms with my mom. Like even when I was in high school, I mean, I probably still do. To
Not
this
much
day.
has changed. Yeah.
Not much has
But-
changed.
Yeah, but like my mom's my best friend. Like I love spending time with my parents.
I
and
mean-
that's really special that they are.
We were in Park City this summer, and Brendan's like, come on, Mom, and he grabbed my hand, and we're,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the
they're-
same way with my
they're
mom.
my boys.
Yep.
They're always going to be mama's boys to an extent.
Yeah.
And there's there are times where I'm like, dude, you need to like go.
Yeah. So does Jake take advantage of that? Because I know you said he's feeling a little under the weather, right? Or is that
No, Brendan's feeling.
Brendan's feeling. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Is he taking advantage of being a mama's boy right now?
No, but it's like, no offense, fellas, y'all are horrible when you're sick. I'm sorry, horrible.
I beg to differ, and I think you can attest. Excuse me, when I'm sick, I just want to be left alone. Like, I don't need this. I don't need X. She texted me yesterday. You texted me yesterday and asked, dude, do I need anything? I said tea. And that was it. I don't need to be baby. Like, just give me a blanket on the couch and something in the background to take my mind off my splitting headache. And leave me alone.
Jake is walking around with disinfectant at our house because Brendan just keeps going from couch to couch to his room. He's like, stop sitting on everything. I don't want your disease. He's spraying everything down, which I get. But then Brendan got up this morning. He comes, Mommy. I'm like, don't hug me. I love you. I can't fix it. You're on an antibiotic, but I really don't. I don't have time to get whatever it is you have going on.
Yeah. Well,
like I just don't have time.
That's what.
I love you, but
Mark like locked me in a room for 7 days when I had COVID last year and wouldn't let me come out.
I remember that. You were like stuck in your room. You're like, nope.
Yeah. They're like, oh, what? I'm like, well, I'm literally
people
not.
I was taking care of. I couldn't afford to get sick.
Yeah. That's
well,
true.
like the biggest thing is like, as a mom, like you're still doing laundry. I don't really cook. I'm not gonna lie. Good job, Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn does the majority of the cooking, but like if I'm not up still doing something and I'm sick, and like I'm down for the count, and then they know I'm down for the count.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm like, okay, you need a ride? Let's go. Okay, practice.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I mean, I'm not saying that you need a lot when you're sick, but I did because I feel like everyone's feeling a little rough this week with.
I think everyone's just run down.
Run down.
So much
I'm
going
sure
on
all of
last
us
week.
being together with the Christmas party. I mean, I don't feel like I'm dying or anything,
No,
but
I'm just tired.
I don't feel 100%. I feel like head's a little, throat's a little. He's feeling awful, so
I know.
kudos to you for still coming on. But you know, he left a couple minutes early yesterday, and I texted him and asked what he needed. He was like, some tea. And then he's like, do we have a thermometer? I'm like, I don't know. You're going to have to go upstairs and look. I don't know. But I came home with a little care package for you. Okay, you're sick. Lipton soup with the extra noodles.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Brendan's girlfriend door dashed him cough drops, Theraflu, tea, and
That's so nice.
That's so nice.
and something else yesterday.
I hand delivered it.
I'm not making fun of you.
Oh, I thought
he was just saying that was nice.
I thought he was like, that was so nice.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
I brought ice cream, Lipton soup.
Where was the ice cream? I didn't see any ice cream.
I ate some last night.
I just remembered we have ice cream in the freezer. I should tell Brendan that.
Yeah. I got the hot, I got the cold, I got the tea for his throat.
The biggest thing is it's the let's run up and Mommy look at my. I'm like, I don't want to look in your throat.
Oh.
I love you. You're all like horse pill antibiotic they gave him. I had to like break it in half this morning because he's having a hard time swallowing. Like poor fella. And I say poor fella, but he's like 6'2", 270 pounds. So I'm like, you can't curl up and sit on my lap there, fella. You'll break me. But I mean, it sucks when they're sick. It sucks when anybody's sick.
Yeah.
So,
But hopefully we get through this flu season and
unscathed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with the holidays. So.
I know. But any plans for the holidays before we wrap it up?
No, survive.
Are you done with your Christmas shopping?
Oh God, no.
We have a lot to do.
No, we have quite a bit to do. Not much.
Yeah.
I just need to start wrapping it. That's what it is.
Oh, that's the easy part. Once you have it in the house.
I usually wrap as I go.
Yeah.
So then it's done. But like my kids are older.
Yeah.
So like I literally have boxes just sitting here in bags and they're like, what's over there? I'm like, if you look.
Do they peek?
No.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
No, Quinn was off the other day and he went shopping. He does all the stocking stuffers. He finds like the greatest stocking stuffer stuff. And he was like, hey, don't look under the bed on this side. I'm like, why? He's like, because there's stuff for you too. And I'm like, what'd you get for stocking stuffers? He's like, I can't show you right now because your stuff's intermingled. I'm like, well, you should have planned better. You've been home all day.
Yeah.
I want to say. He was like, sorry.
That's nice
So,
though.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's it.
Alrighty. Any other last words before?
No, thanks for having me on.
It was great
Yeah.
having you. We'll have to have you again sometime
I mean,
soon.
I don't talk to you
This
guys
is your-
enough.
I know. This is your first time in the studio.
Yeah.
Though. One Team Media Studio.
Let's go.
yes.
Tied for most appearances all time.
What was that?
Yeah, tied for most appearances of all time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At one.
At one.
Congratulations.
High five. Good job.
Thanks. Thank you guys again for joining us. Another scheduling note, we're still be coming to you weekly, but we are now found on the One Team Media channel on YouTube instead of the Brian Hess channel. So all the same family network, different name though. But thank you guys for joining us. Please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.